All right, so in a high water situation, you know, there's going to be a couple ways you can kind of break that down. And one of the ways I like to do it is kind of finding a steeper type bank. You don't really want to go, if you get in a flooded situation, you don't want to get on a real flat bank where if the water raises 2 feet, it's going to go, you know, 200 or 300 yards up into the woods or something, because those fish are going to be able to get way back in there where you're not going to. Well, let's say you've got a steeper type bank to where if the water comes up 4 or 5 feet, the fish can only move about 30 yards and you're still able to access those fish. So basically, that's where I try and start looking from a high water situation, just places I can still reach that the fish kind of can't get any further, because they're gonna move with the rising water. Bass will always follow rising water 9 times out of 10 in any time of the year mainly. And unless you get a really cold situation, like in the winter you get a bad flood, sometimes they will set up on the old bank, but 90% of the time, any time of the year, the fish are going to follow that higher water. And that's when I really like to target them, because it puts a lot of targets in the water, gives you a lot of stuff to throw at, and a lot of the times they're going to get on something like whether it be a green bush or a hardwood or anything like that. And if you can ever figure out what those fish want to be on at that one time, you can pretty much run it around anywhere around the lake. So I've had tournament instances where the water's come up and they've wanted to be on green trees, like green leaves, and you can literally just run down the lake and find all the green leaves and you'll get a bite out of every one of them. So that's mainly why I like high water situations a lot, because if you can ever figure it out, I feel like it's really easy, because the fish will set up on really a lot of the same stuff. And another thing is, like I mentioned a minute ago, is there's a lot of stuff to throw at. Like I'm a big power fisherman. I like burning up a lot of water. It gives you a lot of stuff to throw at. A lot of stuff in the woods that the fish like to eat. There'll be a lot of bugs and lizards and stuff like that when the water comes up. So that's another big deal, is why those fish will flood that flooded up stuff. But always the key is keep it to where you can get to the fish and they can't get any further away from you and you not be able to fish for them. That's the biggest thing I can take away from and give you from fishing high water.